Om Shanti, and a very good morning to all. So today we will continue with yesterday's Murli, the Murli dated 16th January 1985. The title of the Murli was The Attainment of the Inheritance and the Blessings from God in the Age of Fortune. So we read the entire Murli yesterday, and we also read the part where Baba was meeting groups. So today Baba is meeting the third group and some other uh, groups as well. So let's read the Murli together. Baba says, do you constantly experience the stage of being cooperative, karma yogis, natural yogis, and constant yogis? Hmm? When something is easy, it becomes constant. If it is not easy, it is not constant. So are you constant yogis or is there a difference? Yogi means to remain constantly absorbed in remembrance. Can you visualize for a second, the image of yogi in front of you? How do you imagine or how do you visualize? What image comes to your mind? Maybe you can share towards the end. But yeah, just visualize a particular yogi and whatever you feel you can share towards the end. See, when Baba says yogi means to remain constantly absorbed in remembrance. When you have all relationships with God, then because of all relationships, there will be natural remembrance. And when there are all relationships, there will be the remembrance of one. Since there is just the one, there would be constant remembrance. So belong to the one Father and none other in all relationships. To belong to the one Father in all relationships is the easy way to become a constant yogi. See, when Baba talks about remembering him in all the relationships, huh, so we can think that why Baba wants us to do this. Now, why does he keeps on emphasizing God? Remember me in all relationships. Because one thing that comes to my mind is we are more entangled here in through our intellect. See, बुद्धि से हम कई सारे संबंधों में यहाँ आते हैं, right? Maybe a father, maybe a daughter, maybe mother, maybe whatever. Okay. So we come into contact with a lot of relationships. But what Baba ultimately says is, बुद्धि का योग बाप से लगा. Right? Remember me through your intellect. Buddhi Yoga Bapsa Laga. That means wherever scattered my intellect is, in all my relationships, he wants me to collect those and then utilize it or connect with him in all my relations so that my intellect is no more scattered in all the worldly relations. Okay, and is there with only the one. Getting it. Also, you can churn on, and that you can also add your churnings to this. That why does Baba want me to remember him in all relationships? See, often he says in Sakar Mundi, or many a times he says that मोह की रगे जुड़ी हुई रहती है. It is very difficult to disconnect from those. Okay. So when we start remembering him in all relationships, gradually we start experiencing a kind of detachment here in our worldly or whatever relations. That doesn't mean we become hateful or we become rude to others. No. But you're getting my point what I'm trying to make, right? So think over this as well, and then we can share. Baba says, yeah, since there is just the one, there would be constant remembrance. So belong to the one Father and none other in all relationships. To belong to the one Father in all relationships is the easy way to become a constant yogi. When you don't have any other relationship, where would your remembrance go? Always have the awareness that you are easy yogi souls by having all relationships with the Father. By being constantly equal to the Father and having a balance of love and power at every step, success automatically comes in front of you. Success is your birthright. You have to work in order to keep busy, but one is hard work and the other is just like a game. Since you have received the blessings of powers from the Father, then where there is power, there everything is easy. Where there is power, everything is easy. Right? Let there be just let there just be a balance between the family and the Father, and you will automatically receive blessings. Where there are blessings, there is the flying stage. See, rarely does he say this. No? Let there be a balance between the family and the Father. Now, which family is he talking about? Not the Lokik family that we have, but the alokik one. Why? Because many a times we keep Baba aside and we get entangled to the family so much, uh, that Baba automatically moves aside. ये भाई का class, वो बहन का class. I like to listen to somebody, then I like to share with somebody. Uh, Somebody at my center has this particular quality, somebody at the center has this. I'm not saying we are not to appreciate people, we are not to listen to classes, but too much should not be there. There needs to be a limit. हाँ, रहना परिवार में ही है अल्टीमेटली यही हमारा दैवी परिवार है जिनके साथ हम अभी रह रहे हैं getting it? When Baba says you need to maintain a balance between the family and the Father. Baba should not move away. He should not drift away. Okay? Like many a times we create certain what do I say? आधार बना लेते हैं ना किसी को. That so and so is there, then I will go. If so and so is not coming, I won't go. I will do this seva only when I have this so and so coming, this soul coming with me. No, Baba needs to be there first. So where there are blessings, there is the flying stage. Even against your conscious wish, there is easy success. Baba is meeting the next group, the fourth one. Do you always have the awareness of the Father and the inheritance? The awareness of who your Father is and what inheritance you have received automatically makes you powerful. The awareness, I'm reading the slide again. The awareness of who your Father is. Now, how much do I know, Baba? See, one little classwork or one little homework, you can take this. What do I like the most about Baba? Or what do I like the most in Baba? Okay, let's take this as classwork today. Okay, everybody has to share at least one point. What do I like the most in Baba? मुझे बाबा में क्या अच्छा लगता है? And those who cannot unmute and speak, I would request you to put it in the chat box. Okay, because Baba is saying, see, the awareness of who your father is and what inheritance you have received automatically makes you powerful. So we are taking this exercise so that we can realize that how much I personally love Baba, or how much I personally, what do I personally like in Baba? You have received such an imperishable inheritance that it can create in one birth a reward for many births. Have you ever received such an inheritance before? You receive this now, but not in the rest of the cycle. Therefore, constantly continue to move forward with the constant awareness of the Father and your inheritance. Also, one point that we will make clear with this exercise, like what do I like the most? Baba सिर्फ बिंदी नहीं है. He's not just that one point. उसको सिंधु भी कहा जाता है. बिंदु के साथ उसको सिंधु भी कहा जाता है. So he has a lot for me. What have I received? Huh? This exercise, this little exercise will open doors to what all have I received and what all am I yet to experience in Baba. And when each one will share his or her point, we will realize that see, Baba is helping this particular soul in such a beautiful form. I will also experience this. Getting me? So Baba says, yeah, by remembering your inheritance, there will be constant happiness, and by remembering the Father, you will remain constantly powerful. A powerful soul will always remain a conqueror of Maya, and where there is happiness, there is life. So just connect the two things. Inheritance will bring you happiness. Remembering the Father will give us power. A powerful soul will always remain conqueror of Maya, and where there is happiness, Baba says there is life. So, what is life when there is no happiness? In that situation, although you have a life, it is like not having a life. Whilst living, it is like being dead. The more you remember your inheritance, the more happiness you will have. Do you constantly have happiness? This just reminds me of a little this thing, when Dadi used to share. I'm not sure if Dadi Gulzar or Dadi Janki, but once uh, I believe Dadi Janki. So she said that once she was just peeping inside a history hall window, peeping from outside. She was peeping inside the history hall window. And she saw suddenly Brahma Baba dancing. And Baba was all alone there and he was dancing. So Baba saw her that she's looking at him. And Baba just said that come inside. And when Dadi met Baba, she asked him, and Baba, were you dancing? Baba said, yes. I was at the awareness that I'm going to become a little Sri Krishna. And I was doing ras. Also, I'm going to become the first prince. I am the one who's going to become Narayan. This is called remembering the inheritance and experiencing that constant happiness. Because he was continuously in that awareness, right? That he's going to become a prince and the first prince. Right? Although not all of us have a clear vision of our uh, future birth in Satyug, but we know that we will be deities, we will be prince and princesses, right? We need to remember that. And the more we stay in that consciousness, the more happiness we will have. The Baba says, do you constantly have happiness? Only a handful out of multi-millions receive such an inheritance, and you have received it. Never lose this awareness. The more remembrance there is, so accordingly there is attainment. There is constant remembrance and the constant happiness of attainment. Next, Bapdada is meeting the Kumar's group. A Kumar life is a powerful life. So Brahma Kumaris means spiritually powerful, not physically powerful, but spiritually powerful. You can do whatever you want in a Kumar life. So all of you Kumars have created your present and future in your Kumar life. What have you made it? You have made it spiritual. When you became Brahma Kumars with godly lives, you became those with such elevated lives. Your lives became so elevated that you stepped away from sorrow, deception, and wandering around for all time. Right? The youth these days is quite disturbed, quite confused, yeah, and I might say they are very, like, not all, but a majority of the percent of youth is very creative, but they don't have, a proper channel to go on the correct path, and that is why they are distracted. And see how Baba gives us the self-esteem. कि Brahma Kumar बन गए. That means you have stepped away from sorrow, deception, and wandering around for all time. Otherwise, Kumars with physical strength continue to wander around. They just fight, quarrel, cause sorrow, and deceive others. So you have been saved from so many things. Just as you have been saved, so you also have the enthusiasm to save others. You are those who constantly save your equals. Also give to others the powers you have received. You have received limitless powers, have you not? So make everyone powerful. Serve whilst considering yourself to be an instrument. Not, I am a server. Baba is making me do it, and I am just an instrument. You are not those who have the consciousness of I. Those who don't have any consciousness of I are true servers. Bapdada is next meeting the couples. Yugal, right? So are you constantly souls who have a right to self-sovereignty? To rule over yourself means constantly to have a right. Those who have a right can never be dependent. If you are dependent, you cannot have all right. When it is night, it is not day, and when it is day, it is not night. Right? Either you can be dependent or either you can have all the rights. There has to be one thing. No? I was trying to say that. Similarly, such souls who have all rights cannot be dependent on any of the physical senses, people, or material comforts. Do you have such rights? When you become Master Almighty authorities, what does that make you? Those with all rights. When Baba talks about here, about physical senses, people, or material comforts, see, many, like, I have met at least uh, like 4 to 5 souls in my life. Rather, I have spoken to them. They are like, I cannot sit in Baba's remembrance unless I put on a commentary, unless I play music, unless I put on the red light. Okay, and a few other souls say that I cannot sit in remembrance at my home. I can only go to the center and sit in yoga. Hmm. So, what are these little things? We have made the remembrance dependent on material comforts. If I'm going to have this particular sadhana, if I'm going to have this, if I'm going to have my phone, only then can I sit. This should not be there, right? Because my Baba is saying that you are to take a right, you have all the rights. It means I first need to rule over myself. स्वराज्य सबसे पहला अधिकार है. Self sovereignty is the first right. Uh, We need to check this for ourselves also. Baba says, when you have become master or mighty authorities, what is that makes you? Those with all rights. So, with the powerful awareness that you are souls who have a right to self sovereignty, you will easily continue to be victorious. Let there not be the slightest thought of defeat, even in your dreams. This is called constantly victorious. Has Maya run away, or are you chasing her away? Has Maya run away, or are you chasing her away? Have you chased her away to such an extent that she doesn't come back? When you don't want someone to come back, you leave him somewhere far away. So have you chased her that far away? Baptada is meeting a group from Mauritius. All of you are lucky stars, are you not? How much fortune have you attained? No one else can have fortune greater than this because the Father, the bestower of fortune himself, has become yours. Similar to what Baba spoke yesterday, right? About the fortune and God himself. So Baba says you have become his children. Since the bestower of fortune himself has become yours, what could be greater fortune than that? So are you such elevated, fortunate, shining stars? Or you are those who make everyone else fortunate? Sorry, I'll read this line again. So are you such elevated, fortunate, shining stars? You are those who make everyone else fortunate because when you have found something good, you cannot stay without sharing it with others. Just as you cannot stay without having remembrance, in the same way you cannot stay without serving. Each child will ignite the lights of others, many others, and create a rosary of lights. Deep Mala, that means the rosary of lights, is a sign of the tilak of sovereignty. So those who create the Deep Mala receive the tilak of sovereignty. To serve means to be one who has a tilak of sovereignty. So those who have zeal and enthusiasm for service can also give wings of zeal and enthusiasm to others. Sure. Although we took the Yad Pyar yesterday also, but I'll also take it today. So to those who, according to time, always have the right to inheritance and to blessings, to those who create their full fortune from the open treasure store of fortune, to those who transform according to capacity, Yatha Shakti, to being full of all powers, Sarva Shakti, to those who draw the full line of fortune with the pen of elevated actions, to the elevated souls who are embodiments of all attainments, and who know the importance of this time, Baptada's love, remembrance, and namaste to make you full. From us children to our beloved Baptada, love-filled remembrance and namaste. We will spend a minute in silence, reflect on the points, think about the questions, and then they can share. Om Shanti. You can unmute and share points from the Murli.
Om Shanti, sister.
Om Shanti.
I like that Baba is eternal, that he's always a source of energy, that he bestows right ideas, is an actually uh, a house of knowledge. That gives me a sense of confidence and that I can retrieve these parts from him whenever I need. I write a letter, a new idea flashes in my mind, and that helps me go forward. So that is what I like about Baba. And further in the Murli, I liked the statement that when your own, your entire world is Baba, filled with the one, even you cannot get attracted to your own sense. That is something profound I heard today. And the second thing that you, the light of Baba is to be emanated. The love towards Baba has to ultimately get emanated through you to others as well. This is what I like from the Murli today. Thank you.
Thank you. Wonderful. Anyone else?
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
It's a question which you cannot just hit at one thing. When you just found the truth, I remember it was 1993 when I just found him. I had to go to a talk to give about. It was just a talk, the beautiful moments of our life. It was a competition. I just went there and I just told them about, I just started, I don't know what was my, what to say, courage. I said, friends, are you listening? I found God. And I took them after telling them a beautiful story of a sparrow when it gives birth to a child. And then suddenly I just stopped. So, when you ask the question, what did you find? The first day when it was just something different. It was like falling in love. It was absolutely different. And as and when you got closer to the concept of Baba, it grew. You cannot just tell us, but for me it was something that beyond that, nothing. That's the truth. No need for you to go and explore and navigate and all. You navigate, you'll find more Baba. You navigate, you'll find more Baba. Nothing beyond that. Like, it's a thing of a completion. But that you won't feel it before. The first is that eureka, that's something which touches your heart. That's why even that, I don't know what you call it, whether you call it as love or whether you call it as knowledge. If everything else is knowledge. But for me, it was only episode of Baba which was there. After that, everything were just what we say, paraphernalia, the cycle and all. That is just to fit in the picture that yes, he's the one, just the one. But I think if you, such a question, as and when you go deeper, deeper, deeper into things, there are so many other things you find. Myself, I don't think I can answer the question. Only one thing. For me, it's something, a complete circle that, okay, beyond this, I don't think, because it's it's something I think which I can't just share with you. Because I remember I was a disciple of Swami Chinmayananda. I told him, but who is God? You're talking about Gita, you're talking about that. He said, see, you're standing in front of a mountain. You're at the base and you're asking about the mountain top. You have a long way to go. That's one statement to remember. But I feel it's the top I reached. Circle is complete. I don't know what to tell you. If what to just tell one point, he is everything. He is the ultimate. I don't know. It may sound abstract, but that's what is I feel when you ask that question.
Yes, this happens. There cannot be just one thing because this question triggers a lot of things inside. Why do I like Baba? I like this also and I like that also. Yes, anybody else?
Yeah, Om. So, constant yogi life is really a wonderful life. Constant yogi is someone who has this natural remembrance or naturally observed in remembrance of one. So their remembrance is not at all a burden, or it's not at all a something that one has to remind to do it. It comes automatically. So remembrance becomes easy, and it becomes easy when you start experiencing Baba, especially in our relationship, right? So that actually makes the remembrance natural also, right? So there, the thought is you are dependent on one, right? One strength, one support, belonging to one another. So when we reach this stage, right? So then we will see only Father, Baba, and the relationship with all, right? So though we are physical, though we have the physical relationship with others around us, right, within the family, and but we can turn that in a spiritual way, where we can see that all these people just were supporting me around me with me, right? They um, all are appointed by Baba to support me. So ultimately, my intellect should go towards the one who gave all this, right? So let's in other words, Baba sometimes says when you have these specialities. So some people start, and some people have that arrogance or ego, right, when they think about the speciality. But the moment you think that the speciality is a gift from Baba, right? So then our intellect goes to Baba, right? So similarly, when we experience the relationship or the support within the family, we think that, okay, this is all a gift from Baba is given to me. So then there is a possibility, I mean, I think our intellect will ultimately go to an inner remembrance where we can experience Baba in our relationship also. That is also there. But here, the paper, right, the last paper, Nashtomo, so that is the biggest paper, right? So in order to pass that paper, so I think we all have to practice this, right? So this thought will make us experiencing Baba, or while experiencing a relationship and support from others, um, to forget that and establish a connection with Baba. I'm just about mentioned.
So true, so true. When we have directed our intellect to the one, as brother mentioned that while during the final paper of Nashta Moha, it will then be easy. If throughout the life we have, we were trying to shift our intellect only towards the one, then those end moments or those last moments will not be difficult to break from others, to detach and to stick to him. And that is why he keeps saying, right? Abhyasi, he keeps on saying that also. Okay, practice being detached. So true. Thank you, brother. Anyone else would like to share? One point here that while we are discussing about maintaining all relationships with Baba, see, will this not carry any significance throughout the cycle when I, the soul, am coming into contact? Now, see, when he says that you have been through 84 births, you have taken 84 births, that means I will have 84 different families with me. My parents, I will be a daughter, son, whatever. There will be 84 families in rough. Okay, let's talk about just our parents. So, if I am remembering him here in all my relationships throughout the cycle, he is going to give me a sukh, of all these relationships. माना वो होता है ना संबंधों में किसी भी संबंध से वो वंचित नहीं रखेगा कुछ. I mean, I'm just asking, I'm thinking, will this not carry significance throughout my cycle, throughout the entire cycle? Because he himself keeps on saying that this birth of yours is the Adi, is the first one. Whatever you do now, you are going to get the returns throughout. So if I am actually connecting myself in all the relationships with him, then I will have all my relationships in a very good way throughout the cycle. जैसे ममा का, डैडी का, बच्चों का. Many people come and say कि मुझे इनका सुख, इस संबंध का सुख नहीं मिला. I have not seen my grandfather. I have not seen my grandmother. I didn't receive that love, that kind of love. फिर बाबा वंचित नहीं रखेगा if we are connecting with him now. Just a thought. Okay, so anyone else would like to add?
Deepika
Yeah.
Ben, you were talking about cycle and relationships. Had this question been asked before even you came to know the concept of the ages, I don't think we could give a reply. Our reply would be scriptural. But having got the knowledge, you have to remove the 21 births over here because God, who is he? We didn't even know him. Like, there are so many conversations in the Murli where Baba says, where you remember me in the golden and silver ages, I don't even exist. So, I mean, now I'm telling you after getting the knowledge. But so 21 gone. The next 21, which you will see is in the copper age, is the one they search for God, not in all relationships, but the Father, the Abat Pandava, that's what we say in Tamil, the one, my protector, the redeemer, one and only one, and it was crazy love. It was just running after love, not love as a concept of what we know, but whatever they found thing in, merciful in, they ran after it. But later now, the next 42 births which we see is where we are totally forgot. We know him, but we don't want to know him because the knowledge of I has become more great, and there's a conflict between I-ness and Godness. That was there. So it is only this one birth where really there is a realization. That is what I feel in the cycle. If you just ask, it's absolutely different. But it's only now in the confluence age when we are able to analyze the relationship of all births. But personally, if you ask me, This all relationships, during yoga, I have never tried. I don't know. I feel father and friend. It's just my yoga with him. I find that. But I find the other thing, I know he is all the sab kuch tera, the pita tumhe, mata tumhe, we say that. But if you want to experience that relationship for me, it is always the father and friend. I don't know whether the word which I'm saying is correct. Others just look rhetoric for me. The mother or the bride, okay, all that. But for me, I don't know personally, the father. So maybe I have a lot of devotion, samskar in me. That's why that father, the one we were looking at, everyone, and the friend, both is that which came in. Otherwise, I think relationship is absolutely clear as far as our births are concerned.
Yes. Yes, brother. You wish to say something?
Yeah, I will just add on. So I suppose, when we have this relationship, right, when it comes to relationship, um, our intellect to go towards Baba. For that, we also need to understand a little bit deeper that what we get from Baba when we compare with our, father, right, the physical father, and just if we take one example, father, our physical father, and the spiritual father, a Laukic father. So what we get from our physical father is only for one birth, right? But what we get from the spiritual father, that comes for so many births, right? So our physical father can only give us a temporary happiness, peace, right, and prosperity, whatever. But whereas the spiritual father can give us more, right? When it comes to protection, so physical father will be able to protect us only when we are in the, to some extent, in a physical way. But whereas the spiritual father can protect physically, and also even when we are in the subtle form, he can protect us, right? And that was not just for one, but possibly for long, right? So when we start comparing the attainments that we are getting from the limited relationship and the unlimited relationship that we have with the Father. So that is going to, give us a space to think that, okay, I'm getting ultimately everything from God, right? Unlimited, I'm getting from God. So when we have this awareness all the time, that is going to slowly lead us to have this remembrance always with the Father, right? So when we get something from someone, we start remembering them, right? When we realize that, okay, this person is giving me, caring me so much, or giving me this, that, and all that, then we also tend to remember them a lot. So similarly, when we become aware that God is loving me so much, He's giving me so much, He's whatever He's giving me eternal, right? Then when I become more aware of this, then automatically my intellect goes there, right? So, right. So another thing is whatever my physical father give is I can see it, touch it, feel it, right? But whereas when the spiritual father, the alaukic father gives, right, that is though it is eternal, it is there, but I cannot see it, right? It is there. It's going to come without so many lives, but I will not be able to see it at that moment, right? So it's all the experience inside, right? So that uh, I mean to say we have to become more aware of what we get from these two. Then ultimately our intellect go to him, right? Yeah, just a thought, Amsha.
Wonderful. So true. Thank you. Anyone else would like to add, would like to share? Okay, so Reti still has added something. I'll read it. We have received such an imperishable inheritance that it can create in one birth a reward for many births. Only a few receive this, and the more we remember the inheritance, that much more happiness and attainment we experience. Then Girija sister has added, I like absorbed in remembrance creates a blissful yoga. Mm. Radhamani sister, I attained everything. Nothing is lacking. Baba belongs to me. I belong to that one father. Is the inheritance from the father. Wonderful.
Deepika Ben, if you have got time, can you just give both these stages? This blissful yogi that is absorbed in remembrance. It's just nothing, love and love. And the second one is volcanic yogi, where, like a volcano, you erupt and where everything is burnt and all. I find these are two different vicissitudes of yoga. Can you just throw some more light on this too? Because both are different, because Baba is speaking about cooperative karma yogis, natural yogis, constant yogis. I was just adding these two. I said blissful yogi, absolutely, in love, absorb nothing. It's all love around. Volcanic yogi is, is like power. So, which is more, I don't know what question to ask, but I just want a comparison of both.
I'm going to try. Because, see, when we look at Brahma Baba, he appears to be a very blissful yogi, right? Because it cannot be seen that he has worked a lot, he has done a lot of hard work, या फिर बहुत ज्यादा वैराग किया, बहुत त्याग किया, बहुत तपस्या की. He करा है बाबा ने. It's not that he has not done this, but when you look at him, he always he always gives those vibes of sweet vairag, you know, a very meetha sa vairag. It doesn't looks like he has done, Bapre, he has, he has left so much, right? He gives the appearance of a very blissful yogi, yet we cannot say that he wasn't, he hadn't practiced Jwalamukhi yoga, okay? So we need to in some way strike a balance between the two, that while I am coming in contact with others, while I am carrying forward my actions, I try to be a blissful yogi, a Karam yogi at that time, merged in Baba's love and then practicing whatever I'm doing throughout the day, but in that awareness. And then when I sit for yoga, let me remember him and only him. That also can be with a lot of love, but Jwalamukhi stage needs that kind of needs that kind of devotion towards
Fuel,
him. Yeah.
fuel.
So we
Which is
need
more
that
powerful?
kind of, yeah. Both. I cannot select from anything because I like staying in Baba's love like uh, throughout. And even before when I sit for yoga, I try to communicate with him, tell him, and that is again love that I express everything, and then I feel kind of that he, from speaking a lot, he kind of moves you to silence. कि अभी बता दिया ना सब. Now come and sit in silence. Experience this. So that's my
I
experience.
think
Anybody else would like to add
no,
on?
I think blissful yogi is going for a long, lovely ride with Baba, just on a drive with Baba. But the powerful yogi is like going on a race, when you're on a race, you have to see whether that person is there. So that's how I used to take it. Volcanic yoga means, Jwalamukh means, oh, I'm on a race. Like so much fuel. But blissful yogi is just me and Baba going on a long drive.
One point can also be that the first stage will be of a blissful yogi, and then later on can reach that stage of Jwalamukhi yoga, because that also requires a lot of strength. Yeah. I cannot immediately say that I just sat in yoga and this Jwalamukhi aarti. So, okay, so anybody else would like to add on to anything, would like to share? No? Okay, then.
So while you were reading the Murli Title, when you asked a question, what about Baba that you like the most? It's definitely a a world where to select one thing is going to be a challenging space, but something which really had always been very near to me is the way once you surrender, how Baba takes over. There has been multiple experiences where I may have a question as to why it is happening this way, but after a few days, I get an answer that whatever has happened has been perfect. So Baba is Kalyankari is one statement that is very near to my heart. Shanti.
Thank you. Very nice. Anybody else would like to add? See, so many points came up, right? Magirisha sister said that I remember him with a lot of love. Then Raki sister shared that, he's Kalyankari. There's so many points come up. Vinod Bhai added his own experiences. So when we listen to all of this, we kind of also get that, what can I say, motivation or ideas कि अच्छा बाबा को ऐसे भी याद कर सकते हैं.
It is also
Yes.
food for intellect, right? For the mind also to think about it, churn about it, where we'll become busy. That we find more reasons to connect Baba and experience Baba. Right? It's all food for intellect. Variety food.
So true. Correct, absolutely. He will make you busy throughout the day. Ask him this early morning, Baba, what do you think is the best? He will come down and he will make you think, yeah, just see, I can do this also. You can like me this way, you can like me that way. Very good. So anybody else would like to add on to anything? Okay, so we will spend a few minutes in meditation. Let's sit back. I, the being, I look at myself in Madhuban, a place which Baba liked the most. I enter Baba's room. The moment he looks at me, I like the way he corrects me through his drishti, guides me through his drishti. I quietly move to Baba's hut. Baba ki chopadi. I enter and I quietly sit there. I like the way he quietly listens to me. And then when I am done, he responds back in silence. I enter the history hall. I like the way he teaches me everything, every little bit of knowledge, little things. He wants me to learn every good manner, every good aspect, and he wants me to be the best. I stand at the Shanti stump. I like the way he stands there to make me complete and full, Sampurna or Sampan. I now move to Sukshamatari. I like the way he gives me wings of zeal and enthusiasm to fly. And I ask him to give me more reasons to remember him, like him, to be with him. And he quietly blinks, saying yes. Thank you, Baba. Thank you, Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. So before we close, quick announcement about tomorrow's session. So tomorrow we will be doing a Murli Manthan session on the Murli date at 14/01/1985. The title is The Basis of Having Good Wishes for Others is to have thoughts about the original self and pure and positive thoughts. Shubha Chintan, Shubha Chintak, Shubha Chintan, and Shubha Chintak. So request everyone to attend the session and you'll share some thoughts there. So over to you, Amindan, for closing the session.
Om Shanti to Baba. Thank you, Deepika Ben. Thank you, Divine Family. See you tomorrow at 5 a.m. Until then, have a wonderful day.